What's up, everyone? This is Bill with BLR Tuning. Today we're going to look at the Dynojet QUICKSHIFT. I've covered this before on the Honda GROM, but we were using PC5 software. So today we're going to be showing it to you for the PC6. PC6 uses the Dynojet C3 software. Okay, so the C3 software can be downloaded in the downloads section on the Dynojet website. If you're setting this up at home or you want to do it yourself, you would simply go to the Dynojet.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom, click on Downloads, or you can click on their menu tab and hit Downloads, and then click on Software, and then you're looking for PowerCore Suite. Okay, and then PowerCore Suite, when you open it on your Windows computer, this is what it'll look like, and then you need to click on C3. Okay, and C3 will open. You can then plug in your Power Commander 6, and then you can go and set it up. So I will show you this on screen, so you guys can see what it looks like. But let me show you the actual QUICKSHIFT. It'll be referred to as QS quite often, and in some of the instructions or some of the videos you might see, people might refer to it as being for PCV or Power Commander 5 or PC5. Okay, it works with PC6 as well. It works on many different vehicles. So this application is what we carry on our website, BLRTUNING.TECH. We're getting ready to add a bunch more quick shifts for different bikes, but this one we do carry on our website. It is for the Kawasaki Z900. So there'll be a link below to go purchase this setup right here. So this is what this comes with. It comes with the cable that plugs into the Power Commander, and then it has a plug at the end of it that can plug into your QUICKSHIFT. So that's what this is. Okay, and then your QUICKSHIFT, this is considered the dual contact sensor. So this will work for what's considered pushing or pulling. So when your bike actually shifts gears, you would look at the little rod on the engine, the connecting point for your shifter. Okay, and if that is pushing, let's say if we're going up, then this would be on the end and pushing up, and that would mean it is pushing. Now, if we have to pull on the opposite side to shift, and this is pulling, then you'd be using it as pulling. This can also be swapped over for GP shift just by swapping these plugs. Okay, so the one with the green wire is for push. So you see these green and blue, that is this one here. If we're pushing, then we'd be plugging this in. If we're pulling, we'd be plugging this one in. One of these is not going to be used. You cannot use both. Okay, so you have this plug here. The color on this does not matter. Okay, it shows green and blue here. This color may vary and it does not matter. Okay, this can plug into either one of these plugs, and that will determine push or pull. Okay, so green and blue is push. The red and yellow is pull. Okay, it does come with the instruction manual that is pretty universal. And depending on what bike you're installing it on, this may thread onto here. It may thread into here. This is going to be replacing or adding to your shift rod. So in some bikes, you'll cut the shift rod out completely. On some bikes, you'll use part of it, might be attached to the actual foot pedal or to the upper piece that is actually shifting gears. So you may be actually adding this to that piece as well. Just depends on the vehicle. This right here threads down, so if you're threading this on here, you can adjust the length by how long those threads are, and then you can tighten this locking nut up against it. This may thread into here, and you may end up having, depending on the bike, sometimes you may have to cut this to length, and you may have to cut these to length. Okay, this is threaded way down in here, so you may have to cut this to get it to fit, but it will come with the rod that will get the job done for your specific application. So we will be, this will be included with the QUICKSHIFT if you're ordering it from our website. If you order it directly from Dynojet, you can order everything separately. You'll have to figure it out on your own. Sometimes it'll show what one you need. You may have to contact them and ask them what one you need. But when you order it through our website, it's coming as a QUICKSHIFT kit for the vehicle that we specify. So it'll be everything that you need. Okay. and then obviously Power Commander is sold separately. You'll need a PC6 or a PCV, Power Commander 5 or 6 to do the install. Okay, so the way it's going to install into your, or plug into your Power Commander, is you'll see you have these down here, these little flathead screwdriver holes here. This one is switch 1. So these first 2 holes closest to the plug are going to be switch input number 1. So that one is switch input number 1, and that one is switch input number 2. Okay? It can be used for multiple things in the software. I'll show you that and we'll go over it. If we're shipping this out to you and you have a launch control, then we would be using launch control as switch input number 2 and quick shift as switch input number 1. Okay, or vice versa, but we would specify. And when you order this from us and you ordered a Power Commander, we're going to have it set up in the software for you, ready to go, and we're going to have this plug plugged in. So these 2 wires at the end of the little plug that it comes with are going to plug into those 2 holes. The color or order that they're plugged in doesn't matter. As long as they're plugged into the first 2, that's switch input number 1 right there. The second 2, you can see there, that would be switch input number 2. Okay, in the software. Okay, so let me get this plugged in to our Power Commander, and we'll plug in the USB cable, and then we'll show you what it looks like in the software and how you turn it on using Dynojet C3. So always remember, with all of our products, it comes with a QR code in the box. You can scan that with your smartphone camera, and it will take you to any install videos that we have available that would help you with your install. Okay, so you can see here we do have it plugged in. Again, the wire positioning, you can swap those, it doesn't matter, but as long as they're in those first 2 holes, that is switch input number 1. Again, right next to it, switch input number 2 is the second set of the holes. The green and blue wire, it doesn't matter if one is plugged into this hole and one is plugged into that hole. They could be opposite, okay? So we have that plugged in. On the setup we're doing, it will be using the push method. So we will have this plugged in, but if your bike was using pull, you would switch it over to this red and yellow one. Okay, and then the idea for the quick shift is to give this wire as little movement as possible. And what I mean by that, obviously you want to leave slack in there, so when it does move, it has slack to move. But putting this closer to the bike side of things is the best way to go about it, versus putting it over next to your foot where the shifter is and you're constantly lifting up on that shifter. So putting it closer to the actual mechanism that's shifting gears is the best way to go about it. And then obviously zip tie it up out of the way, but leave yourself some slack so it can move, and then make sure you test it by hand and look at how much this is moving. What you don't want to do is remove this rubber piece and have it moving right there next to the shifter over and over. Eventually you'll break that wire. Okay, so you want to leave yourself like a little bend, something like that, something where it's not going to get snagged on anything and it's not going to be towards the ground. You want it kind of in and up towards the bike. Okay, pretty straightforward, but that is how it all installs. And so that is how it plugs into the electrical side of things. Okay. Again, I'll link the GROM install video because I do show installing this and how I routed it. Your bike may be different than a GROM, but that's fine. Install process is very similar. Obviously, this is where it's going to vary, is the rod and what rod it comes with, and where that rod goes in orientation. As does it go out here? Does it go here? Do you use a rod or not? That stuff is all going to vary depending on each bike. Okay, but that is how you do all the electrical side of things. So now we will hop over to the software. Okay, so we're just going to use this right here and show you the software and everything, but I'm going to show you where you get it. You just go to Dynojet.com. Scroll down to the bottom, click on downloads. It'll ask you for what device. We can click on PC6, and then we can click on software, and then you'll see Power Commander 5 software if you're using Power Commander 5. If you're using Power Commander 6, it will not work with that software, so we need Power Core Suite right here. You'll see that. Download it. Okay. Then you're going to open the Dynojet Power Core. It's going to look like this right here. So that's this. And when you click on it, you're going to see this little bar pop up. We are opening our C3 software. We do have our Power Commander plugged in. We have a PC6 plugged in with the USB cable. Okay. So now it should grab everything automatically. It should say PC6 device connected down here. It may say 2 devices connected, like if you have auto tune, that type of thing plugged in, or wideband. Okay, so we can, in here, we can navigate things. So we're just showing you the quick shift stuff, but what I do want to show you is if we are building you a custom tune for your Power Commander 6, when you get it, if you go in here, we see base fuel, and if ignition timing was available, we would also see base for ignition timing. That's where we make our adjustments. What you're going to see is this one that says primary fuel adjust. So you'll see when I click on this, it shows 0 adjustments. But then when we click on base, you can see our fuel adjustments there. So these are just some random numbers we put in just so you can see it. And then you go target AFR, you'll have this here, okay? So, then obviously auto tune. Okay, and then you have your notes here. It'll say everything about the tune. Okay, so you may not see, depending on your type of login, you may not see this where it says base. You may just see fuel adjustment, and in that case, you're going to see zeros. So don't be alarmed if that's what you see. Our adjustments are there. You just don't see them because of your login. My login's a little bit different. Okay, so what we're going to do up here is we're going to click on configure. This is to set up our quick shift. We're going to click on quick shifter. Okay, and we'll already have this set up for you so you can see this is how it is out of the box, but it is disabled. So we're going to go over here. There's a little box here. You can't really see it. It kind of disappears, but if you click on this, you'll see it light up here. We're going to go to enable, and then we're just going to leave it at the minimum of 3,000 RPM. That means at above 3,000 RPM, you can shift gear. Okay, this is kill fuel only, but if you had a vehicle like, let's say, a Ninja 400 or Z400, a 2-cylinder vehicle or 1-cylinder vehicle, you can use ignition timing options, and then you can kill fuel and ignition. On here, we're just going to be killing fuel. Okay, because this is for a Z900, so it's a 4-cylinder bike, doesn't have that option. Okay, so gear dependent, you can change this if you want. Okay, and then you have the shift interval here. This is in milliseconds. So this is how long is it killing everything while it shifts. Okay, and then here's our switch input. We need to change this to switch input number 1. And it is normally open. When you push on it, that is closing it. So an open circuit, think of the wire being broken. This is open, and the wires touching is closed. Okay, so you can see here, by being gear-based, it has kill time for each individual going from one gear to the next. But if we change this to single time, then all shifts are at 65. This is milliseconds, okay? So you pretty much can leave everything default for the most part. You just want to make sure you have your switch input correct, okay? And then this all gets sent to the bike. But anytime I'm finished in the software, I always hit send, because we're not doing anything as far as like tuning and stuff, accepting auto-tune trims, that type of thing. We're not really doing anything until we hit send map. So I always hit send map. Okay, now you will see if I unplug the Power Commander. Okay, so now it's going to show that it's unplugged. We can actually click a little exit. And now we're going to plug back in our power commander. Everything's going to come back up here. We can go back to configure. We can go back to quick shift, and you'll see it's enabled. So everything worked. Okay, so that's how the quick shift is set up. If you were doing it at home, that's how you would set it up in C3 software. So just wanted to cover that for you guys. Now you know how to set up your Dynojet quick shift. Like I said, if you get it from our website, you can order the device, the quick shift by itself. In that case, you will need to come to the C3 software if you're using a Power Commander 6. Again, there's a video below that shows the Power Commander 5 software. Power Commander 5 will work in C3 as well. So we just use C3. It's the better option to use. It's a more superior software than Power Commander 5. But for Power Commander 5, you can use Power Commander 5 software or C3. Okay? For Power Commander 6, you have to use this software. So I wanted to show you that and cover it in a video. If you ordered a Power Commander from us with a quick shift, then your quick shift is already set up. It's ready to go right out of the box. All you got to do is install everything onto the bike, and you wouldn't even need to come to the software unless you want to make changes, of course. Okay, and we don't really lock anything down in here for Power Commander, so you can come in and make changes and whatnot. Okay, anyway, I'm Bill with BLR Tuning. I'll catch you guys in the next one. You can go check out our website, BLRTUNING.TECH. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Hope this helps somebody out.